It's good company.
Mm-hmm.
Build.
Oh, that's good company. Good company.
Good company. There we go. There we go. Cut that part.
Okay, so my name is Marwah and Basmalla. I am from Yemen. I grew up in Yemen. I was born and raised in Yemen, and I came to the US in 2015. Since then, I've been studying, doing work, exploring different careers. I didn't really have a set mind of what I want to do. I was interested in the med space for a while, but I quickly realized it's not something for me. I was more interested in working for startups, meeting other companies interested in innovation, and that's where I found my sweet spot. Entrepreneurship, honestly, I fell into it accidentally. It wasn't something I had in mind. So I was actually studying pre-med courses at that time, and there was a Blackstone competition that I was like, well, let me join. I have this idea for tourism, and let's see where it goes. And I actually submitted my application 13 minutes before the deadline, and I was a runner-up. And after that, I was just from there, it was just like, what about this program? Are you interested in this program? And it was like, okay, I see a future in this, and that's how I continued with entrepreneurship. And by the way, when I joined that competition, I did not even know what entrepreneurship, nor I was able to spell it. So it was the first time I hear it and the first time I read about it, and it was just something that I instantly fell in love with. Me and Basmalla actually met at a different accelerator program, and that accelerator program is like for people that do not have ideas, join teams. And that's how I met my very first co-founder, Basmalla. Do you remember when we first met?
It was at the program, yeah.
Yeah. So she came to me and I was very confused on where is she from?
Oh.
With the British accent.
The classic.
So I was like, wait, what? And then I remember I gave her my Instagram, and then she was like, oh, Arabic. You speak in Arabic? And I was like, yeah. Where you like I got it that she's Egyptian because of the Arabic dialect, but yeah, that was like a mix of feelings of like, what is she? But yeah,
I always come with my surprises.
Hi, I'm Basmalla. I used to live in London. I was born in Germany, originally from Egypt, lived a bit in Turkey, and moved here. Being among different cultures and knowing how they think, I feel like there's a lot of beauty in that. And I wanted to be a diplomat, but I kind of changed my thought. I like the business world a little bit more. I feel like you have more control in changing certain things. Sitting at a table trying to negotiate for a resolution, and it goes on for a lot of time. And again, all due respect to that, but that's something that just doesn't satisfy me. I want to work on something, even if it's small, and see change a little faster. When you're in finance, you're analyzing how these businesses are doing and how they are running. You start reading up on, like, you know, Nvidia's beginnings, Apple's beginnings. And I think it was really that point while working for finance, like, you could see the company's financial progress. And so in the morning I read the news, and then I see the stock market and the translation of what happens into that. And I'm like, wait a minute. I would love to have more influence over this, not just watch the analysis translate, but be a part of this translation. And I think that it was really that point during finance that I thought, you know what, I think startup is the way to go for me.
You really cannot have your mindset of, I want to be an entrepreneur. You kind of fall in love with solving a problem, and that's how you become an entrepreneur. Personally, it wasn't something I planned. So I want to be an entrepreneur. It was something that I saw there was a gap, and I was like, okay, let me find a solution for it. Before coming to the US, I was really interested in tourism. As I said, I am from Yemen, and my country in every single aspect has a different vibe to it. We're talking about beaches, we're talking about it's more like a Switzerland vibes. We're talking about Sana'a, which is like very historical. And since growing up, I was like, no, I really want to work in tourism. I didn't really have an idea of like building an agency of tourism or anything. It was like, no, like I want people in my country to explore their own country and to travel around. When I came to the US, that idea kind of died out for me, and it was like, I'm here in the US, it's like my country is unstable. It wasn't something that I was thinking about anymore. However, I was still interested in tourism. There are so many things that people miss out on doing when traveling. Speaking about my own country, if you would go to Yemen prior to war, in the morning there's this actually small shop that sells these potatoes with special spices that every local person knows about it in that area. You wouldn't know that as a tourist person. You would come in, visit the places that the tour guide tells you, and you leave. Done. And that was kind of like the frustration that I saw within my country, and I saw with other countries too. So even people coming into New York City, they would go to these very hyped places, I would say, and they would miss out on great experiences and really exploring the real New York City. And that was like the whole idea in the beginning of like, how can we make tourism accessible for a person that doesn't have enough money, have the money just to travel, be there, but also for the people that want to have that local feel and not just touristy attractions only. We're talking about tourism, we're talking about countries, we're talking about cities, but why not simplify it to simple hangouts? That just from planning the simple hangout of me and my friends on what to do, a full plan is also hectic and is also stressful. And the whole goal of Easy Meets is to simplify that process of planning, of having all the data that you need and creating a plan that is personalized towards you, and to create a plan that matches everybody's interest in their group.
One of the most important things that Marwah and I have done is customer validation multiple times. Like, we had this idea that we just thought was a problem, right? But the access to the market we really got through talking to customers every single Friday. I remember every single Friday we would go around with this Google form asking people, hey, what's your best day out? What do you find so frustrating about planning a hangout? What can be done better? What is this? And people don't realize this, but the customers out of frustrations, they have a tendency to actually give you the best information. They have a tendency to tell you what's actually wrong. It's not, a lot of people look towards the competitors for, you know, what other things we can add to make this another solution in the market, but it's really the customer that can solve everything.
I know a lot of people say it's not a great idea if you're like the entrepreneur and do not have any tech background experience. I do have some background in coding, like I would understand some of it, and that was things that I did personally of learning from YouTube, and I did take some courses in campus. But I would say having a tech co-founder that is willing to sit with you and speak to you about the progress of and keeps updating you does make it up.
Every day, like, you worry. I don't think that part, I think that part should be emphasized more. Like, every day you're worried, what if this doesn't, like, what if it doesn't work out? What if, you know, someone comes out with something, but that was always the fear at the beginning. You know, that was the other thing that I found really funny today, that, you know, we were always so scared to send our pitch deck or so scared to talk about ideas so it doesn't get taken by anyone. But then you realize, no, you put so much work and effort into this idea and you worked on it, and like, no one can match the time you've invested into it or the information you've gathered. So I think that part became more normalized for us. No, let's talk about idea more. Let's talk about it with more people, even with people that, you know, we thought maybe, you know what, maybe they might not be interested. People surprise you at times. Like, they give you the best insight, really. We get a lot of no's because we also talk to businesses quite a lot. But once that one yes that comes and from a customer saying, oh my God, like, this is the perfect app, or why did no one think of this? Or the business that's like, oh, close to saying yes to being on the app. Those are the things that really motivate us and really want us to do more and like push out more features, push out more updates, and just see it come into reality, really.
Oh. See, that's how you know we are actually friends.
Exactly.
You know, something really important. Choose your friends, like your founders. They have to be good friends with you. You know, my first impression was like, this girl, she's on something. Like, I feel like she has a passion for traveling like me, and I thought, you know, that's I want to know more about her background, and I think once I got to know she was also Arabic, I was like, this is going to be a nice mix, you know.
Yeah.
the Arab jazz. Marwah, like her and I, we always motivate each other. Like, get a partner that will always motivate you. Like, even when you're feeling down, they're like, oh no, we've done a lot so far. Like, having that reminder is so good to keep you going. My entire life history, life problems, everything is analyzed on the, before our team meetings or post. Like, we do life updates.
Yeah. No, we do that more than the company updates sometimes.
I think it actually built a good bonding relationship even outside of work. We really do enjoy our time together, and there's always something interesting happening. It makes the momentum, going, in her life or my life. It's good days.
There's actually a picture of us. I'm not sure if you know this. Me and her were sitting actually the opposite of each other.
I want to see that picture right after
You
this.
should. We were like,
I'm gonna see this picture right after this.
We were sitting the opposite of each other, and it's like how we came to be a team. I was like in the front, and she was way in the back. But yeah, we became a team. Opposites
work good together. Marwah is very calm in the way she goes about business. Like, she's very calm. She makes more, I'd say she thinks more carefully about steps being taken, which is a really good. I truly admire that with her. But for me, I'm very fast. We write something down, we have to execute it. This is just the structure we have to go in. Why isn't this being done? When you're building a team, that sort of system where you speak to people and you're always supportive and okay, well, how can I help you? I think she taught me a lot of that, and I admire it. I think together it's a good mix. One's fast, one's more careful. Makes steady, slow, nice growth.
Yeah, what I like about Basmalla more her straightforwardness. She's very straightforward, and that's actually helped us within our company. When we do our meetings, she's like the one that leads most of the business meetings or onboarding people into the team. She gets the message like straightforward, right across. Like, this is what we're building, this is what we're offering. What do you have to offer for us? And remember when I told you like the best memory is like pitching the first time? Basmalla actually was the one training me, and she was like, why are you moving? I'm like literally like this, moving around, how like stressed I am. But that was like the very first time I pitched, and you witnessed me pitching at Zan. I would say that was like a huge jump from where I was to where I've come. And that is part of the entrepreneurship journey. You're literally always challenging yourself, doing things out of your comfort zone, and learning new skills. And that's things that you kind of forcefully have to do as an entrepreneur, and it's transferable skills.
Entrepreneurship has something different about it that I seem to lean to. It's that risk-taking appetite. It's that perseverance that I like. It's a constantly changing market, and you're adapting, and that to me was pure joy. You'll never build something and it will last forever. Like that is just quite impossible. Business is always adapting to change, and so is entrepreneurship. Like, you have an idea. Is this the most perfect idea? No, it just adapts. The more you do customer validation, the more you assess the market. And it's even more fun when you have competitors in the market in the same field. Like, you see a different mind approaching the same problem, and this is how they're approaching it. What can you do that's better? And the hope that this problem that you're solving is also helpful for someone else, that you're really making a difference in someone else's life. I feel like that's really what being an entrepreneur is.
I would say this generation specifically is so much better. I did the Zan program, and it was very diverse. I never felt like it was a male-dominated anymore. We've conquered, finally. And other accelerated programs that is like Gen Z, it's been diverse. Obviously, going into like bigger accelerators, I would probably see the difference. But speaking as of now, I believe we finally have a good amount of women that are interested in entrepreneurship and are actually breaking through. even if it's like male dominated, I see it from my own team. Guys are very supportive of us. Even me and Basmalla are like kind of the leaders in of like the Easy Meets team, and they're very supportive. They're, you know, acknowledge the work that we put in, and we've never felt like it's their word versus our word. No, it's like our word together. We're always talking about how we can make the progress faster and so on.
I think it takes a thick-skinned, strong person to be in that space. Because the amount of times I've been to networking events and like as soon as I walk through the doors, I just see a lot of guys just standing, talking to each other, you know. And I see like even during networking huddles, you just see this always huge huddles of guys, and you're like, oh, should I go in? And guess what? I go in. I go in because, you know, if you don't take the opportunity, it will stay like that. It will stay male dominated. You want to change that. And I think one of the things that I've embedded in myself since day one, I'm here for a certain goal, whether that be Easy Meets or just like a certain business conversation, and I want to accomplish that goal. I don't care about any of the other barriers. I'm going in no matter what. Like, what have I got to lose? Really nothing if you think about it. Like, imagine working on this vision or goal that you every day you're telling yourself this is going to be big, this is going to be big, and then one day it becomes big. Like, imagine like it's a child you're raising, and then, you know, one day it will grow up. So yeah, I think that moment would be nice. And also I'd love to see what happens in Marwah's life afterwards.
I'm interested in that. Yeah. What was the question?
Us in a nutshell.
My aspirations as a person is definitely, I would hope to join like any nonprofit organization that is meant to help in agriculture, even though nothing that I'm doing is about agriculture. But I do come from a country where farming is still very popular, and I would love to bring in technology that will help farming.
I do see myself starting another startup or continuing on this momentum wave of, you know, finding another problem in the market and trying to solve it. Yeah, I see myself as an entrepreneur in the long run, maybe later on as an investor too. That would be very nice.
10 years ago, if you asked me, I would have never thought that I would come to the US and like be here for like 10 years straight. If I was planning my future like this, I wouldn't be here, and I would have like stuck with what I planned for myself 5 years ago. So I would say be open-minded with your choices, especially us being young right now, and just be, you know, try new things. Don't be afraid to try something new or something that you're not familiar with. And I'm like a master in this. I did coding, I did med, I did marketing, I did everything and anything that gave me like 1% of like an opportunity over there. I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I feel like I've gathered a lot of skills. I've understand a lot of things. Yes, I'm not a master in any of these things, but I do understand it enough to be in the room and understand what people are talking about.
One thing I really want to say is that it is really scary going into entrepreneurship. That is a very valid fear, because, you know, you're not going to a classic corporate job where you're being paid well and you're getting that experience working all these hours. And it can be really scary to take the bet on yourself. But I remember I told myself, I'm going to give myself time so I don't regret it. Like, the worst fear that I have is regretting something that I really wanted to do. So I would say take that bet on yourself. It's really worth it. If it fails, it fails. You can restart again. There is no issue, and no way you'll come out of this experience not learning anything. At the end of the day, when you put the bet on yourself, you become more disciplined. You're building your own wealth in some sense, not someone else's wealth. So don't be scared. As intimidating and as scary it might seem, especially, you know, you could sit across someone and they're like, wow, this person is brilliant. Like, I will never be, you know, on the same level as that person. No, go for it, because all these people learn along the way. Like, there is no one course that makes you, you know, if you graduate and you have the award in this course that makes you prepared for this world. No, I think it's the more you put yourself in these risky positions, or positions where you might feel uncomfortable or scared, the more you learn, and the more braver you become to take other opportunities on.
Me and Basmalla have known each other right for 2 years, but I feel like I've known her my whole entire life. To me, this is more than just building a company. It is a lifetime friendship that I would say.
I'm agreeing. What's the double take that I just witnessed? It's going on forever. They try to break us, it won't happen.
I celebrate women entrepreneurship.
Okay. Oh yeah. This is choose your founders wisely.
Yeah.